Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now I'm going to show you the fastest way to clear the 7-star Mewtwo with 2 people every single time. It's going to make it so easy. We did it like 3 times in a row just to make sure it works every single time. But if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online, as long as you know someone that has the game, you can do this method and get your Mewtwo's, because we all know it's pretty impossible to do it solo. You're going to need a support Mew and an attacking Mew. I'm going to go through the supporting Mew first, the one I used. And as you can see right there, it has the Mightiest Mark. I go down to the attacking one that has the Mightiest Mark as well, so you know that these Pokemon have took down the Mewtwo. Now the first one, it doesn't matter what Terra type you use because we won't be terrestrializing. We're going to be holding the leftovers to restore health at the end of every turn. You can get from Cascarafa, Delibird shop. Now the EVs are going to go into HP maxed out. You want around 200 points in defense and around 50 in special defense. Just put all your remaining ones in special defense. You want up in special defense and down in attack. Now the reason we've got this EV spread is because if you have max defense and you have up in defense as well, and the Mewtwo will use Ice Beam or Raid instead of Side Strike, and you don't want that because you can get frozen a lot. In the first raid we have a different build. We switch to one with Crunch, and then on the third one we switch to IVs, kind of like a trial and error. I want to go through it all with you so you know the thought process behind it. And then moves are going to be Struggle Bug, Life Dew, Crunch, and Mud Slap. Most of the raid will be Struggle Bug, lowers the special attack. Life Dew to heal up when needed. Crunch, and we don't need to lower their special attack anymore because they're on like -3 or -4. We can use Crunch and try and get the defense drop, and this will help out the other Mew massively. Mud Slap, just in case you want to use it, it's another option. It lowers the accuracy, it forces them to miss a little bit more often. Now the attacking Mew, it's actually not going to be a bug type one, it's going to be a dark type Mew, so you want to go and get your dark Terra type from the Treasure Eatery in Medali. You want to go get your Shell Bell from the Delibird shop in Lavincia. Now before we get into the moveset, I just want to say next week, so starting Monday, we're going to be live streaming every single day at 8 PM onwards for a full week at least, helping all the viewers get the Mewtwo. So if you want to come and join that, then you're more than welcome to, and get your Mewtwo or your Mightiest Mark on all your Mews if you haven't already. But moving on to the moveset, we have Crunch, Swords Dance, Misty Terrain, and Struggle Bug. Struggle Bug, same reason as the other Pokemon. Swords Dance, raise that attack by 2 stages. Misty Terrain, what this does is before the shield goes down, you activate Misty Terrain. They can't go to sleep, they waste their rest move. But also, if you use Misty Terrain instead of Electric Terrain, it stops you from being able to get frozen. So extra safety precaution right there. And Crunch is going to be amazing because it has a chance to drop their defense. You want to PP max your Crunch though, so it's on 24 out of 24. You want EVs in HP and attack, plus 5 ability and damage. You want max IVs in everything, of course. You want the Adamant Nature to up that attack even more. Now, of course, we're going to need the Shell Bell to restore health for us because we're not using Leech Life. Bug type one is just going to be worse for doing it though. We've tested both, and the Dark type Crunch, double Crunch is just going to be the fastest way to do this. If you're enjoying this video so far, smash that like button, subscribe so you don't miss any more videos, and we'll get into the free raids that we did just to show you how easy it is. So we're going to get into our first one where we didn't have the changed EVs, and our partner Presno was using the Electric Terrain. Thanks to Presno, by the way, for helping me out in all these raids. Absolute legend. Damn that Mewtwo in its turn 1 shield and Calm Mind. So as you can see in the first one, he does use Ice Beam pretty much all raid, and that causes us to get frozen a few times. And the idea is both of you, attack and support, use Struggle Bug until he goes on -1 or -2 special attack. He will use Calm Mind a ton at the start of the raid, but after he removes the first time, the amount he uses Calm Mind drops considerably. So when he gets on a neutral special attack, you will start to see the difference it does make, and you want to keep going until he goes to around -2, -3. Keep using it after that if you want. It's not needed, but you can do. But do be careful, because as you can see right there, even if you both use Struggle Bug, because he used Calm Mind on the AI, he can go back up so quick, but after he removes it for the first time, that won't be the case. And as you can see right there, we're taking a lot less damage now. So the attacking Mew can start setting up once you start taking less damage. Even before he removes, you can start setting up. It's kind of safe when he starts using it less. Even if they don't want to set up just yet, make sure they terrestrialize anyway, because then they will go into a Dark type and Side Strike won't be able to hit them, won't do as much damage because they're not as defensive as we are. We get quite unlucky here. We do get hit with a critical hit, but we chose to use a Life Dew just to keep ourselves alive a bit, ready for the remove negative effects. And then we check he's on -1 special attack, so our partner uses a Struggle Bug and we use a heal up. We get the smallest cheer you can possibly get, unfortunately, but it was worth a shot. And you'll never guess what happened next. We got hit with another critical hit. Yay. So he hits us with another Ice Beam. It's doing about 100 damage at the minute. So all we've got to do is make sure we use a heal up. We could have got our offensive partner to use heal up as well, but I didn't want to this time. So now we are taking a lot less damage. Our partner has been using Struggle Bug almost the entire time. This is a very slow process, the start of the raid, but after you get past that bit, it's very easy. And after you do, you can start to use Life Dew to heal up quite a bit of health for you and your partner if needed. Now we use Mud Slap for a bit of fun, try and get him to miss a few attacks, lowering his accuracy. And as you can see right there, we do avoid an Ice Beam, which is nice. That was after 2 Mud Slaps. We use a third one, because now he won't remove negative effects from himself until we take down his shield. We go back to using Life Dew just in case of those critical hits. They can be quite dangerous. And at this point, your partner, the damaging Mew, should have been using Crunch by now. It should be on max attack. It should be terrestrialized. Should be doing some decent damage and hopefully getting a few defense drops. And what I find hilarious is the Mewtwo kept missing us, but it kept hitting our partner over and over and over again, which is hilarious to me. Probably not that funny to Presno though. So because this build did have Helping Hand at this point, we start to use that, so the Mew can do a bit more damage with its crunches and hopefully get a drop. Now he will nullify at a certain point, don't worry about that, just get your teammate to set back up and you can keep them alive with your Life Dew. It shouldn't be any problem because he doesn't remove negative effects anywhere near around this point. So the Mew is back on max attack, so we're now back to square one and we have a massive advantage again. Now, as you can see, because he's using Ice Beam every single turn, you will get frozen eventually, more than likely. We only have 1 cheer left though, so I kind of want to save that. So I do ask Presno to use a heal for me, and then we are no longer frozen and we can carry on using moves to assist him. Now, I would recommend keep checking the Mewtwo just to see what its special attack is on. Make sure it's always on -2 or lower. And as you can see, there's a nice balance between the moves you actually use. You just have to learn that balance and it's a very easy raid. Now, just before you take out the Mewtwo shield, you want to make sure that electric terrain or misty terrain goes up. In this scenario, we was using the electric terrain. Make sure he can't go to sleep and use that rest and get back to full health. And then this magical breaking of shield will happen. Then he will remove negative effect from himself. This is going to be the hardest point after the shield breaks. But he can't use rest, so that's awesome. His HP will stay on his current HP. Now, I was a bit late to this, but just before the shield breaks, I always like to do a defensive cheer because now he's on a neutral special attack again, just in case, you know, you gotta be safe. And now we're back to using Struggle Bugs. I recommend you using 2 if you're the support and the attacker using 1, or use 2 each. After this, you can tell the person that's doing the attacking to just go back to attacking and doing all that damage, hopefully getting some defense drops, because the rest of the raid is going to be pretty smooth, but he does nullify you a bit later on. Now, we do get frozen again, unfortunately, so I asked Presno to heal me up so I can be not frozen and support him even more, do even more damage with that crunch, etc. Now, let me just say that Presno in this raid is actually using the metronome by accident. He was supposed to be using the shell bell, but we forgot to actually put it on that Mew. Guess who got frozen back to back? This guy. So Presno is going to heal us up again so we can start supporting him again. Now, we do get nullified again. This will be the second nullification of the raid. So Presno is going to start setting up again while we use Struggle Bug to minimize that damage. And then he's going to start using Crunch again and doing a lot of damage. As you can see, 1 more turn and it's over. We do get the warning, Tremendous Energy Gathering. We also get frozen again, amazing, but it's not going to be a problem because Presno's going to use Crunch and finish him off. Now, I was very happy with how well we did that raid. None of us went down. We had a decent amount of time remaining, but I did think we could have even more time remaining if I switched Helping Hand to Crunch and lower the defense a bit more than Presno's been doing because you're attacking twice as much. So on this second raid, I do have Crunch instead of Helping Hand. So here we are. The only difference is getting rid of Helping Hand and putting Crunch in, and it should make it a little bit faster. But the beginning of the raid does not change. We will start off with Struggle Bug again, both of us. So he's on neutral right now, so I think it's safe enough for the attacking Mew to start attacking while I carry on using Struggle Bug because he's about to remove negative effects anyway. So he's not going to use too many Carmines now. And then guess who got frozen? This guy. Yeah, we got frozen again, so we're just going to heal up because Presno is on half health as well. And then he hits us with an Ice Beam. It is a crit, but surely it doesn't... Oh, wait, yeah, it does. It freezes us. Again, back-to-back turns and a crit that time. That's ridiculous. So Presno heals me at this time, and I use Struggle Bug just so I can lower its special attacks. It is on +1. It's getting a little bit dangerous at the minute. And Presno starts to set up with Swords Dance. Even though it's not removed negative effects, it will do any turn now. Now, I don't feel like we're in any danger whatsoever, so it's time to see what Crunch is made of, and we get a defense drop on the first time, so that's amazing. Now, even one defense drop can be massive between the two of you. As you can see right there, we did a load more damage there with Crunch. So we attack him with a Crunch again, and we get back-to-back defense drops, so that's amazing. A nice bit of luck, doesn't hurt anyone. And it's about that time where he nullifies all the stats on our side. So Presno decides to set up again. Once you get in a rhythm of how the raid works, it becomes very easy. You can do it faster and faster each time. And as you can see there, he's on -2 special attack, but we're going to use Struggle Bug anyway, just so he's on -3, make things a little bit easier. Guess who gets hit with another critical hit and then frozen? This guy. So I ask Presno to heal me up, and I use the Hang Tough Cheer in preparation for the shield going down. And then I use Life Dew because I like to be on as much health as possible for when that shield goes down, because he removes negative effects from himself and he can do a bit of damage to you. And then Presno uses Electric Terrain to make sure that the Mewtwo can't use Rest. The Mewtwo removes negative effects just before the shield goes down. It's right on the edge, so that's not a big problem though. So if that happens, just make sure the offensive Mew is going to use Crunch to break that shield, and the defensive one is going to use Struggle Bug on that first turn. And then on the second turn, both use Struggle Bug, or the offensive Mew can even start attacking even more if you use 2 by then, and both of you are on nearly full health. So after 1 Struggle Bug from the offensive Mew and 2 from the supportive Mew, the Mewtwo is a -2 special attack. And as you can see, we've caught up to the timer finally. So he does nullify, so the Presno will have to set up again here. And all the supportive Mew is going to have to do is juggle between Struggle Bug and Life Dew to keep Mew alive and lower the Mewtwo's special attack. After you're both in a safe situation, you can start to use Crunch again to try and get that defense drop if you're the supportive Mew. And at this point, we both just use Crunch for the rest of the raid. We do get the defense drop, so that's amazing. Raid's pretty much easy now, and as you can see, there's a lot more time remaining. And Presno uses one last Crunch to finish the job. We take the Mewtwo down. It didn't come up with a warning this time, so I know for a fact it was faster than last time. But it just wasn't good enough. I wanted to do it even faster. I was convinced there was a faster way to do it, so we kept trying, and we go into a third raid. So the changes we made in this one is the offensive Mew went from Electric Terrain to Misty Terrain, just in case we do get frozen. If you didn't know, Misty Terrain stops any stats conditions, so we can't get frozen for those 5 turns it's up. The supportive Mew took 50 points off EVs in defense and put them on special defense, changed nature to up in special defense, down in attack. After testing a little bit, I did find out that if we take 50 points off defense and put them on special defense and change the nature, then Ice Beam won't actually hit us or raid. We will get hit with Side Strike instead, which is what we want, because we got froze a lot in them last 2 raids. So Presno's in, let's go. I'm convinced this will be the fastest run yet. I guess we'll find out. Let's begin. So like I said, we are getting hit with Side Strike now, which is amazing because we are not getting hit with those Ice Beams and wasting those heals on just unfreezing me. Now you know the drill. Use Struggle Bug, both of you, until he's on around -2 or he removes negative effects. I never thought I'd say it feels good getting hit by a 7-star Mewtwo Side Strike. So it's getting near that time where he's about to remove negative effects, so Presno's going to start setting up ready for those nice crunches. There it is, Mewtwo removes negative effects from himself, we're good to go. You know what time it is now, it's time for you both to use Struggle Bug until he's on around -2, and then Presno can start to attack after he's set up fully. So the crunches have started, and we're taking next to no damage from this Mewtwo now. Now, I do realise that Presno took a little bit of damage, so I checked the Mewtwo. It's a -1 special attack, so I do use Struggle Bug here. Make sure to keep an eye on that. We do get hit with a crit, and Presno was on about half health, so we do choose to use Life Dew, get a little bit of health back. And then the Mewtwo is going to nullify for the first time. So it's time to use Struggle Bug, try and keep the Presno alive at any cost while he sets up, ready to do even more damage. And because we're not getting frozen anymore, we have cheers to spare, so we use a go all out cheer to make sure that Presno does more damage. And if you look at the health bar right now, it is making a difference because that was with a crunch that was on a neutral defense. Well, it's about that time. We use a defense cheer and Presno puts up the Misty Terrain ready to take down the shield. The shield goes down, Mewtwo tries to use rest, it fails, but it does remove negative effects from itself, so it's time to Struggle Bug. 2 Struggle Bugs from us, 1 from Presno, it does the trick, and Presno can start attacking again. And as you can see, the Mewtwo's on -3 special attack, more than enough to finish the job, so now we're just going to start using Crunch ourselves. Guess who got a defense drop? That's right, we did. So now the raid's going to be even faster. That was the first defense drop this raid, actually, so it's been kind of unlucky in that regard. But I think you can already tell this is going to be the fastest raid by far. So we just decide to use Crunch for the rest of the raid, both of us. So as you can see right there from Presno's attack, we are getting some good damage away. We are in front of the timer now and it's looking very nice. And with 1 more Crunch from Presno, the Mewtwo should go down. He's attacking now. There we go. And look at how much time's remaining. We had so much time. It's actually ridiculous. So if you want to farm this Mewtwo, or you just want to get it in the first place and you only got 1 person to play with, then I highly recommend doing this. It makes it so easy. You can do it every single time with this method. Live streams will be starting Monday, 8 PM BST time every single day to help everyone get Mewtwo, because it is very difficult if you don't have communication. Now, if you want the best build for your Mighty Smart Mewtwo, then I'll put it on screen right now, and I'll catch you on the next one.